Reddit stories. I pulled a dress-up prank on my brother-in-law for making fun of me, and now my sister says I ruined her marriage. I'm 20 years old, and to be honest, I kinda look like a girl. I mean, I don't have much going on in the chest area, and I guess I just got unlucky with the whole genetics thing. Most people think I'm just a tomboy, but it can get a bit annoying when people mistake me for a girl. I'm pretty cool with who I am now, but back in the day, I used to get bullied a lot for it, and I'm still a bit sensitive about the whole thing. So, my sister's husband, who's 30, always makes jokes about it. I told him to stop, but he just brushes it off as just jokes. I got fed up with it and decided to do something about it instead of staying quiet like I usually do. I convinced some friends and my younger sister to give me a makeover before they were supposed to come over. They did a great job, and when I'm all dolled up, I look like a younger version of my older sister. When they came over, I made sure to act as girly as possible, and let me tell you, he was visibly uncomfortable. I felt like I was winning this one. But then, they left early, and I got a text from my sister calling me an asshole for making her husband uncomfortable. She told a few family members, and while most are on my side, a couple think what I did was childish and in the asshole territory. Am I the asshole? Oh, and by the way, to anyone using Reddit care resources to be bigots, just go away. No one likes you. Edit, got a text from my sister, and she thinks I'm a giant piece of poop and that I'm ruining her marriage. I probably won't be seeing them anytime soon, but just in case, I'm going to try to talk to my parents about everything and see if we can keep them out of the house for a while. Since I only pay rent to live with them, I don't really get much of a say, but I hope my parents can support me. Update 1, 6 days later. Subscribe for more Reddit stories. Hey, everyone! Thanks a bunch for all the feedback, good vibes, and even some laughs from your comments. These past few days have been pretty crazy. I had a serious talk with my parents about how I've been feeling. They agreed that my sister's husband is not welcome in our house anymore. They didn't do or say anything before because they thought I was okay with it and saw me as a tough cookie. They said sorry for that and promised to speak up more if anything like this happens again. My older sister has been sending me lots of mean texts, calling me names, and she even visited yesterday. As soon as she walked into the house, she started yelling at me, and things got pretty heated. So, my parents also decided to ban her from coming over until she can apologize for her behavior and for letting her husband keep making me uncomfortable. On a happier note, I've been exploring a lot about myself these past couple of days with my twin sister. She told me not to call her my younger sister, but we're just a day apart, so I'll always tease her about it, haha. She helped me with clothes, makeup, and even figuring out what pronouns I might like. I'm starting to think I might be trans, but there's still a lot of exploring to do. I hope this update is interesting for some of you. It's not super exciting or full of drama, but things are getting better, and it's definitely an exciting time for me, even with some negativity. Oh, and I gotta say, thanks a bunch to my brother-in-law. I wouldn't have started exploring my identity without you, smiley face. Edit, some people are taking the little sister comment a bit too seriously. My sister is totally fine with it. She read the post before it was posted, and we had a good laugh about it. My relationship with my twin sister is a lot different than my relationship with my brother-in-law. Update 2, 19 days later. Everything has been quiet from my older sister and BIL. Me and my other sisters have been having a blast, helping me explore my identity. I even went out clubbing with them dressed up, and it was so much fun. I've been going by she/her since my last update and using a different name to see how it feels, and it just feels right. But who knows, maybe I like those pronouns, and I might not be trans. Either way, exploring takes time, and I'm learning that you can always discover more about yourself. On a not-so-happy note, the quiet time with my BIL and sister came to a quick end last night. BIL came to the house drunk, mumbling things about how I ruined his marriage, calling me names, and saying other stuff. It was really scary. He went to the side of the house and came in through the back door that we never lock. He came after me and tried to do some really bad things. Thankfully, my sister was there to pull him off and threaten him with a kitchen knife. He left right away, and we called the police and my parents, who were out at the time. My parents came straight away, but the police didn't show up until 2 hours later. They basically said they can't do anything and suggested we go to the courthouse for a restraining order. My parents tried calling and texting my sister to tell her what happened and why he did what he did, but all she texted back was "fuck off." I'm feeling really shaken up right now, but I'm not going to let it get to me. My parents are going to get me a psychologist so that I can talk about this and other problems I feel, and maybe they can help me explore my identity a bit more. I'm sorry this wasn't a more positive update than my previous one, but I always appreciate the support of everyone on Reddit, even if there are a few mean people. Update 3, 1 month later. I just wanted to share a little update with those who wanted to know what's been happening. My brother-in-law came to my house again to apologize, but thankfully, I wasn't there. My dad chased him off and called the police. This time, they actually came at the right time, about 20 minutes later. Unfortunately, there wasn't much they could do except advise my parents and me to get a restraining order. So, that's what we did. Right now, I only have a temporary restraining order that lasts for about 20 days or something like that. If he doesn't show up to court during those days, I'll get a more permanent restraining order. Other than that, everything has been quiet, and we haven't heard from my older sister or brother-in-law since. We do know she's safe because she's been talking badly about the family to friends and other extended family. I've mostly been staying indoors, feeling a bit down but doing okay-ish. I'm seeing a therapist and got diagnosed with depression. They put me on medication, and I honestly thought I was fine for those days after brother-in-law tried that, but it got to me more than I thought, like a week or two after. My other sisters have really been helping me not feel alone, even if it's just us watching Netflix in silence on opposite ends of the couch. It makes me feel more safe. Sad post. Same update. My dad passed away from a heart attack the other day. It was really hard. I had to watch him suffer, and I couldn't do anything except cry with my sisters while our mom called an ambulance. I felt so useless and scared. And now, my dad is not here anymore. He was the one I could always count on to protect me, give me cuddles when I was sad, and even taught us how to fish, even though we were sometimes ungrateful little shits and didn't like it. I'd fish forever if it meant I could see him again. Living with a big part of yourself missing is really, really tough. I keep going from feeling numb to angry and then to uncontrollable, ugly crying. It's just so hard to understand that he's gone. I want my dad back so much. I miss him. I love him, and I just want him back. Please, 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 please give him back. He still had so much to do, see, and enjoy. He still had kids to love, and I still have so much more love to give him. I feel so lost now. I used to go to my dad when I was lost, but he's not here anymore. What do I do when I'm lost now? Do I just stay lost? Update 4, 8 months later. Hey everyone! I just found my account details in a phone note and thought I'd log in to give you a little update for those who care. So, my dad passed away about 7 months ago. I'm still grieving, but I'm doing a bit better now after seeing a therapist and a psychologist. On the other hand, my not-so-nice older sister hasn't been in touch since Dad passed. She only wanted inheritance and got all mad when she found out Dad left everything to our mom. After that, she and her husband moved across the country to live with his extended family. Good riddance, right? But on a happier note, therapy has been going well. I've transitioned, and despite all the tough stuff from the past year, I'm finally happy with who I am. My therapist encouraged me to talk to my doctor about everything, and she was super supportive. Now, I'm on a fast-track referral to an endocrinologist. When my GP did some basic blood and hormone screening, she found out I have less than 1% ING/DL of testosterone and some low iron. She's thinking it might be some kind of androgen deficiency. Maybe that's why I always looked kind of feminine, lol. But luckily, that also fast-tracks the referral, so that's the gist of what's been happening over the months. Not a super detailed report, but I hope it's a decent update for you guys nonetheless. Reddit stories. Found out my sister has been lying about our family to her friends for years. Hey everyone, I'm not really good at explaining things, so please bear with me. So, about 3 years ago, when I was 12, my older sister Leah's, fake name, personality suddenly changed a lot. She went from being a sweet, reliable big sis to kind of snappy and closed off. She stopped doing chores, got an attitude if anyone reminded her, and spent all day in her room. It was confusing. At that time, my parents thought it was just teenage girl hormones, but one night she came out crying and told us she is bisexual. My parents and my older brother were super supportive, and I was like, cool, good for you, sis. After that, she started acting better, but she didn't hang out with me as much, which is normal for a teenage girl, I guess. Fast forward 3 years, and we seemed close again, or at least I thought so. Recently, I noticed her friends acting weird around us. They wouldn't talk to us or made rude remarks when they did. I didn't really get it, but we just ignored them. Then, about an hour ago, I got added to a group chat on Instagram by her friends, and they were bashing me for being a horrible person. They called me homophobic, a spoiled brat, a terrible sister, and other stuff. They said I needed to apologize to my sister for abusing her, but I was so confused. Turns out, my sister told them a crazy story about our lives. She said our parents are super homophobic and kicking her out at 18 because of her sexuality. She claimed I became the favorite child after she came out, and I treat her badly for fun. She said I hit her, steal/break her things, verbally abuse her, and call her homophobic slurs, and our parents supposedly allow and encourage it. She lied about having autism and said I made fun of her for it, even though I'm the one with autism. I sent them pictures to debunk as much as I could, like from Pride festivals and pictures of us together. They were mad, but they agreed not to do anything until I figure out how to deal with it. I just found out, and I'm feeling shocked, hurt, and angry. I don't know why she's doing this. Is it for attention? I'm not sure. Reddit, what should I do? Update 1, 2 days later. Subscribe for more Reddit stories. Hey everyone, first off, I want to thank you all for the advice. You really helped me figure things out, and I appreciate that. Now, for the update, sorry it's kinda late, and I apologize for that. I stayed up most of the night, reading your comments and stuff, and I couldn't sleep much, got about 2 hours in, haha. So, I followed the advice you gave me and took screenshots of everything, even the messages from the last night group chat. My dad gets home earlier than my mom, and my sister has a part-time job, so I talked to my dad first. He was furious, shocked, and hurt. It was tough watching it happen because I love my dad. He apologized a lot, and it was hard for me to be the one telling him about this. Anyway, when my mom got home, my dad wanted to talk to her alone, so I went into my room. This is the unexpected part. I heard my parents arguing a lot, and I'll skip the details, but I later found out that my mom knew about Leah's lies. She found out about 5 months ago and didn't tell my dad. I don't know the details, but apparently, she made my sister promise not to do it anymore and just trusted that she wouldn't. Weird. Safe to say, my dad was pissed. When Leah got home, things got worse, more screaming, from Leah. It was hard not to hear because I was literally in the house, but my dad said that Leah was punching and scratching her legs, threatening to hurt herself, and screaming that she was going to hurt me. So, I was kinda scared to leave my room. I've never heard my sister scream like that before. My dad was already mad that my mom went behind his back and kept him out of something that involves his child. My mom defended herself, saying she was just protecting Leah and that she's just a kid. But my dad is smart enough to realize that Leah is clearly not mentally well and said she needed to be put in a mental hospital. A lot of you said the same. From what I heard and what my dad told me, my mom begged him not to, but dad was already upset about what she did, so he threatened to leave her if she didn't comply. There was more arguing, but eventually, they did drive her to the hospital, and obviously, I haven't seen her. Now, me and my dad are at my grandparents' dad's side, and he's not currently speaking to my mom. He did tell her that if she tries to take Leah out, then she is ending their marriage. I also spoke to my brother, and obviously, he was hurt but concerned for our sis, so there's that. My dad and I have talked a lot, good talks. He apologized to me for everything going on, but it's not his fault, so there's nothing to forgive. If anything, I feel more bad about the situation, but me and my dad are good. I'm not sure exactly where my parents' relationship stands right now, but dad told me not to worry about adult stuff and just focus on being a kid and going to school, so that's what I'm gonna try and do. But that's basically everything for now. I will update if anything else happens. Thank you again. Update 2, 1 week later. Hey, everyone. It's been a while, but I have another update if you're still interested. Also, thanks again for the sweet comments, it means more than you know. Smiley face. Let's start with some positive stuff. I got to see my brother and his boyfriend. They took me and my dad to the movies and out to dinner. It was really fun and took my mind off things. New Year's was great too. I spent it with my dad's side of the family. I haven't shared too many details with friends because this is a family matter, but from what they know, they've been super supportive and sweet. Now on to other stuff. Leah was supposed to get out on the 1st, but that didn't happen. She did get out on the 5th and is at home with our mom. Again, I repeat, I don't know how all that stuff works. I had a conversation with my dad about not feeling comfortable going home and being around my sister and mom just yet. He was very understanding, but he did have to go back for obvious reasons, and my grandparents were more than pleased to keep me there, lol. About my sister, from what I know, her first day out, she didn't talk to anyone and basically just slept the rest of the day. The second day was a little rough. She wasn't happy about not getting her phone back or having some privileges taken from her. My mom tried to fight with my dad about it but basically gave up as she's still in hot water with him. When my mom found out I wasn't coming home right away and wasn't really open to talking to Leah about the situation yet, she got pretty upset and sent me a message. She basically said that I can't be mad at Leah because she's not well and needs all the support she can get right now. Apparently, she's in distraught that I don't want to talk to her and I'm making things worse. Okay, literally never cared less. Leah does have depression/anxiety. I don't know more than that other than she is being medicated. I'm pretty sure my dad did talk to my sister's therapist to update her on the situation. My dad did go through my sister's phone, and it wasn't cute. He found a group chat where my sister and her friends would basically harass this girl from their school. Reason? No clue. Not just for that situation, but for the whole situation in general, my dad did have to find the numbers of Leah's friends' parents and let them know what's been going on. I have no clue what's happening with them, but it's none of my business. Leah did admit that the lying was for attention and false sympathy, and she never meant for it to go this far. Not sure if I believe that entirely. I don't think I need it, but my dad also wants to put me in therapy, so I'm just going with it, lol. The big issue right now is my mom continues to coddle and enable my sister. My sister knows this too, so she hasn't been going to my dad about anything because she knows that he is going to actually parent her. My mom will try to stand her ground with Leah, but then the waterworks start and blah blah blah. It's annoying, and it's making my dad upset. It's the fact that my sister knows she can get my mom to do what she wants. It's manipulative and gross. I have gone back to school, and Leah is coming back soon. I'm worried for when that happens. Many of you said she might try and spin some story with teachers or counselors, but also, as of right now, my sister is essentially friendless, and I'm not going to talk to her at school either. I mean, it is the consequences of her own actions, but I can't help but pity her. I just don't want her loser ex-friends to come up and be AHs to her. At the end of the day, I think that inevitably there will be a meeting with Leah, my parents, ex-friends, and their parents, and the girl that Leah and her friends harassed. I already said this in a comment, but I'm gonna say it here too. Regardless of what y'all think, I do not plan on forgiving or speaking to my sister anytime soon, lol. She does not get a pass because her mental health is messed up. She still actively chose to do something disgusting and continued to do that for 3 years. She did not just make up lies about how I treat her. Her and her loser squad would actively make fun of and bash my character any chance they got. Looks, hobbies, interests, was all bashed. I would never let someone speak about my sister the way she let them speak about me. I love her and genuinely hope she gets better, but I don't have to like her. My mom can think I'm a brat, and my sister can cry about it as much as she wants. It's going to take a long time for me to trust her again. It honestly terrifies me to the core how insanely two-faced a person can be. It literally baffles me.